So I came out here today to get some dirt for these sweet potatoes that I bought from the store, because you can buy sweet potatoes from the store, make your slips, and just have infinite potatoes. You don't need to buy them from some big box nursery or anything like that. You can just get sweet potato varieties you are interested in. Get them. Like, this is just your standard Walmart one. I got these from an organic market. So I decided I'm just gonna use some clay that I have, get them used to my native soil. Now, this is not bad soil at all. This is really rich carbon, makes plants grow really well, as you can see by my lovely garden and the corn way back there. This area is one of the bigger producers of corn in my state. And when I came out to my garden, I realized, someone accidentally mowed down my potato plants. So I figured, well, may as well dig them up, because it's currently near the end of August. And since it's near the end of August, by the time the plants make their roots, or they make the above ground plant and do that thing, they're going to die, and I won't have any potatoes left. I pull up the first one, and this is the root system I have, and the above plant actually flowered and had a berry on it. So they were going to die back anyway, fairly soon, I think. This is the seed tuber. These are what I had left. These were Yukon Golds. So I figured, I'm not going to be too disappointed if every potato plant produces like this. So in this hole have Pontiac Reds, and these yields aren't as good. Seed tuber plant. Actually, no, this is from the neighboring plant. Here. This is the plant that it came from. I'm like, okay, I go to another Yukon Gold plant. Only potato. Seed tuber. This seed tuber has completely rotted. And I got a couple potatoes up in there, and this fairly large one. This one, really big seed tuber. I've kept this potato on the stolon because it still has green, so I don't want it to eat solanine and die. Another Pontiac Red. This is the worst producing one. It was a purple potato from Walmart. Here you can see seed tuber. The only sizable potato it produced. And story goes the same here. Out of all my potatoes, to me, it looks like the first one I dug up was the best. So why even bother plant potatoes in this garden? One, I wanted to see how well it would do without amended soil. Every video I've seen so far has been just growing potatoes in clay. It has been about amend the soil with sand, amend it with grass, amend it with all these things. So that way you don't have disappointing yields. I mean, I can see why that's a pretty disappointing yield. If I were to grow field out of potatoes in this soil without amendments or anything, in this chaos of a garden, I'd be pretty disappointed, and I'd probably starve to death. I'd be better off eating the seed potatoes. But if we go over here, this is Helianthus tuberosus, sunchoke. I am a huge fan of these. They are a native sunflower. They are very beautiful when they bloom, and they get pretty tall, about 12 feet tall. These plants came from. I also got these from a grocery store, so I only spent $5 on tubers, and last year I got about 50 pounds from a pound. It was really impressive yields. You could really live off of these, and they are growing in the same unamended clay. So should you just try to live off of sunchokes? No. I mean, you could. You're not going to die, but you'll feel like it. Because I've learned, because I planted these before I even learned if I liked them or not. I like the flavor, but the inulin content in these is way too high. In my own biological systems, it makes me feel really bad. And I've also been dealing with something that has a look of like leaf curl, because these are volunteer sunflowers and they just look mutated. Just really weird, spindly leaves. These came from plants that got 12 feet tall, and they have like this weird curling. They've had it since they were young plants. You can see it affecting these sunchokes a bit. So they are not growing in any ideal circumstances whatsoever. But these will still give me a good amount of seed and tubers. So how could this be improved? How do I make sure that I'm not going to be disappointed by these yields ever again without amending my soil? And I am honestly kind of scared about these sweet potatoes, because I have sweet potatoes in here too. Shockingly. I mean, you can see about how dense this grass is. They're thriving in there, honestly. This is also no-till for this year. You can see in here, I tilled, I got radishes, but you can still see clumps of dandelion. I see some dock. That almost looks like alfalfa, but I'm not 100% sure if that's what that is. Even mock strawberries are a common weed in here. I'm getting a good amount of ragweed. I don't want that in my garden. This was kind of on accident, but when I scythed this down so I didn't completely break the tiller, it killed all this grass. It was just like this. I just put it onto one side, and everything beneath it is dead. So I could root stout everything. There's one of the sweet potatoes that I mentioned earlier. Or I could increase my yields by breeding. So in the next year, I am going to plant out about 20 varieties of potatoes and select not only for the best that does in clay, but I will also take those and make traits that I like blue coloring, things like that. And when they produce berries, like how I was hoping this one would, it will finally be able to grow in this clay. If you have any suggestions or know of any potato breeds that could pique my interest, please tell me about them. Thank you.